Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Patients and Caregivers segment of our virtual demo week. We are so excited to have you all here with us this afternoon, and we're really celebrating the end of an amazing program. This was absolutely a challenging year with everything that happened with the pandemic, and now and what's going on today. And I think our entrepreneurs have done an amazing. Okay. All right, Zuby, take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to listen to Think and Zoom at Mass Challenge Demo Day. Think and Zoom is a blind assistive technology startup that is aimed at creating a world where visual impairment no longer steals dreams or kills careers. And this is the problem we're aiming to solve. Next, please.
All right, on the problem slide.
So this is the problem, and that's actually me. That's how I see today, despite not having any visible symptoms of it. The problem is that there are a lot of blind people out there, like Neowise has mentioned, that struggle with seeing, learning, earning, and this ultimately results in a lot of unemployment as well as illiteracy in the blind community. Next slide, please.
Inadequate solutions.
Now, on the market today, you'll find a lot of blind assistive technology solutions. And bless their heart for trying, but they are inadequate for the 21st century. I mean, look at them. They are bulky, not portable, and they all require hand and manual operation. That's like asking somebody to always be holding up their eyelids and controlling the other hand with another, their eyes with another hand. It's a very poor user experience. Next slide, please.
Market by numbers.
Now, that's the market by numbers. Despite a $5 billion industry, 22 million Americans are affected collectively with a 70% unemployment rate and a 90% illiteracy rate. Next slide, please.
Ultimate
now,
wearable.
Before COVID, this is what we came up with. We came up with what we call the ultimate. Essentially, we leverage technology and innovation to replace the natural human eyes. This is a pair of smart glasses that has 5 cameras. It gives you deep pathway sensing of obstacles as well as uneven surfaces. It can leverage LiDAR to be able to chart your pathway from your bedroom to your door, as well as facial, scene, object recognition, and augmented reality to be able to help you zoom in and zoom out. And on top of all of that, it's controlled by the brain, leveraging a dedicated operating system. Now, this will retail at around $25,000 today, which is very cost prohibitive, and then COVID hit. So we had to kind of scratch our heads and dig deeper to listen to our audience and come up with something else. Next slide, please. So we did do a COVID survey talking to hundreds of blind consumers, and we published our findings in our COVID guide. And by listening to them, we learned that, one, they needed help right now. They're dealing with a lot of anxiety, fear, depression, because they're not able to achieve the task in terms of learning and earning, and ultimately it results in them quitting. Next slide, please.
What we learned.
Along with our survey, this is what we learned. These folks also want something that is hands-free. They want wearable technology, and they want to be able to share their screen, AKA provide their point of view to somebody that can help them. Now, remember when you were in grade school or perhaps high school, you were struggling with a problem and your teacher came behind you and talked to you calmly and walked you through the steps of how to overcome that problem. Can you recall that feeling of joy and elation? Or perhaps you're at work, especially for programmers and developers. You're trying to access some null pointer and somebody comes behind you and said, no. You should delete that line and recompile. And all of a sudden your program is working well again. That is what our users convey to us. And by digging deep into tech and innovation, we're able to come up with something for them. Next slide, please. So this is our pivot, which is currently a concept right now. What you're looking at is something that's a hands-free wearable that is able to provide the blind end user with point of view, live video streaming, which is sent to a remote assistant, thereby delivering to them on-demand remote assistant just by they're using their voice to say, hey, Carrie, help me. And that's all they have to say, and they're connected to somebody else remotely to be able to offer them assistance. This can help them in situations where they're learning and earning, and we aim to be able to use this to curb and reduce the high unemployment and high literacy rate affecting this community today. Next slide, please.
Business.
Now, for our business model, while most of the businesses out there aim for the reverse, we're aiming for high volume and low margin. Current estimates show us that to pull off this device, which has both audio, microphone, and a smart mini cam, estimates are about $199, but we're still pushing to get it at $99. And on top of that, we are targeting the service to be monthly at $399. And if you calculate it per annum, it will be well below the $5,000 state allocation for blind consumers. Next slide, please.
50 seconds remaining.
Team.
Now, the team is composed of myself, the patient innovator, as well as some on-demand contractors that help out. I have lost 3 of my careers: medicine, US military, and engineering, all due to visual impairment. As I'm talking to you, I have 3 rare genetic eye disorders and a whole bunch of other problems. And that is why Nick is very graciously helping out with my slides. And so by having a patient innovator on the team that thoroughly understands the patient pain points, I'm able to quickly translate those pain points into solutions, leveraging technology and innovation. Next slide, please.
Next steps.
These are our next steps. We aim to continue working with our champions, Massachusetts Commission for the Blind, and hopefully in 6 months, we'll get an MVP and beta testing. Next slide, please.
Ask.
This is our ask. We're currently looking for business savvy innovators, as well as recruiting a CEO to be able to help make this dream a reality. And finally, I'd like to thank Mass Challenge, Nick, Natalie, Celia, Matt, and everybody around the Mass Challenge team, because for us, it's a huge personal journey of triumph where we were almost quitting due to personal challenges, but today we are presenting at our virtual demo. So thank you all very much.
Zuby, excellent, excellent job. I'm so impressed. And, you know, listening to an earlier presenter talking about the audience that needs to help design the product that they need, I can't think of a better use case than you, and a tip of the hat to you. Can you, well, I guess I should ask, do you have a demo that can be shared or anything that you could show us?
Sure, and I always try to leave this for last. So I'm gonna show you a bird. As we all know, birds love to fly, but this one is trapped in a cage. Can you see that very well?
A little bit closer. Yep, we can see it now.
There you go. Yep.
Awesome. So now, I think in Zoom, we believe in hands-free, and we believe in providing the ultimate hands-free experience that can increase greater user experience, increase functionality, as well as ultimately improve productivity. And there's no better way to provide this by tapping into the naturally occurring human brainwaves. So what I'm gonna do now is put on my magneto powers and literally think to move that bird. So I'm putting on my brainwave reader right now, and the sensor is here, and it's talking to my brain. And by me shutting my mouth and focusing—
A little bit closer. Yeah, and pull it up a little bit. Great. Yep, we can see it. And there it goes moving. Awesome. Thanks, Zuby.
Thanks.
So that is the power of Think and Zoom. And in order for those who are learning and earning, we also give them the ability to look, think, and zoom into a better, brighter future.
Think.
So I just use my brain to both magnify and screen read.
Fantastic, Zuby. Thanks very much. And we're just about out of time here, so I'm going to say thank you to you for your presentation today, wishing you the very best. And then I'm going to thank the Mass Challenge team for allowing me to MC this very important caregiver channel for the demos, and I'll hand it back to the presenter.